Good morning. I am Maureen Bellino, the District Clerk for the Putnam Valley Central School District, and I welcome you to our annual reorganizational and business meeting. Would you please join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first order of business tonight is this morning, is to have a motion to appoint me as the chair pro tem for this meeting until the president of the board has been elected. Can I have a motion to appoint me as the chair?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next order of business is to administer the oath of office to the district's new trustee, Ms. Crystal Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez will be sworn in this evening for a 3-year term beginning July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2026. Crystal, could you stand and read the oath?
Yes. I, Crystal Hernandez, do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Trustee of Board of Education according to the best of my ability.
We offer our congratulations to Ms. Hernandez. Welcome to the board. The next order of business is to call for nominations for president of the school board. Do we have any nominations?
I move Barbara to continue as president.
Barbara, would you accept that nomination?
I would.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Can we second for discussion very quickly?
Sure.
Okay. I definitely, Barbara should remain in the presidency position, but during the year, I'm going to introduce a resolution, and I hope the board can consider this. I'm going to ask that the term of president be limited to 5 years, either consecutive or over broken up, but no more than 5 years as president. And the reason why is that I think all trustees over time should experience that position. Barring the fact that in the event there is nobody who wishes to be president other than the sitting president, then you continue another year with that individual. But I think 5 years is adequate. I've looked at and Maureen, thank you for that information, the past presidents. There were 2 that served 7 years, and I remember towards the end of each of those terms, more so in the most recent one with 7 years, it was almost, there are differences of opinion that arise in the board, and the president sets the mood and the mode. Every trustee should have the opportunity to sit there. So I will introduce that later on. I'll write it up the way it needs to be written up, and I'll ask the board to act on that resolution. But again, 5 years would be the maximum term that anybody could serve, and it could be consecutive or it could be broken over time, but 5 years I think should be the amount any individual should serve as trustee. Again, I'm just putting it out because I will introduce it later in the year. Thank you.
Are there any further nominations for president? Then I call for a vote. All in favor of Barbara Parmalee for the office of president?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Ms. Parmalee? would you recite your vote?
I, Barbara Jane Parmalee, do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of President, Board of Education, according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. I now turn the meeting back over to Barbara as president, and she will call for nominations for vice president.
Now I have to move on. Okay, but somehow I messed up my agenda on my computer, so I'm going to have to use. Shall we dance? Yeah. Come on. Keep moving around. I was hoping Maureen had more stuff to do.
I have to read the personnel.
That's true. I wouldn't want to do that. Oh, well, this is not working. Where? No, I need my, I don't mind using a paper copy, but I don't, I just brought it over. Now I have it. Hey. Here we go. Okay, I would like to open up nominations for Vice President of the Board of Education.
I'd like to nominate Jeanette Yetter.
Jeanette, would you be willing to serve?
I would.
Any other nominations for Vice President? Oh, so I need a second?
And second.
Okay, so be it resolved to nominate and elect Jeanette Yetter as Vice President of the Putnam Valley Central School District Board of Education. I need a second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Jeanette, would you take the oath of office, please?
I, Jeanette Yetter, do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Vice President, Board of Education, according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Thank you. Okay, the next order of business is the oath of office for the Superintendent of Schools.
I, Jeremy Luff, do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Superintendent of Schools in the Putnam Valley Central School District, effective July 1, 2023, according to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Dr. Luft. I'd like to open it up now to any comments to the public on any comments on the agenda. Any items on the agenda they want to comment on? No? Okay, we're going to start the consent agenda. It's in two parts. The first part is personnel items and other appointments. I would like a resolution. Sam?
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Consent agenda, item and other appointments, here we go. Resolved to approve the consent agenda for personnel and other appointments as per items 2 through 34 is presented to the board at this meeting for the 2023-24 school year.
Second.
Questions or comments? Before Maureen starts her summary of the 34 items, these are appointments that are important for the running of the school district, and you know, at this meeting we reappoint these people. Maureen?
We are appointing me as district clerk for the 23-24 school year. We're approving superintendent authorizations. We're approving the director of business administration and district treasurer authorizations. We're appointing the records management officer, the payroll certification officer, the purchasing agent, and the deputy district clerk, Jill Frigarella, for the 23-24 school year. We're appointing the district treasurer and tax collector for the 23-24 school year, which is Agata Azumski. We're appointing the assistant treasurer and assistant purchasing agent, which is Jeannie Denike. We're appointing the district records access officer, which is myself. We're appointing an ESSA coordinator, which is Title I, Title VI, Title VII, Title IV, Title IX, the McKinney-Vento homeless liaison, neglected delinquent transition liaison, foster care student point of contact, migrant student data point of contact, district DASA coordinator, district residency designee for the 23-24 school year, and those are all Natalie Doherty. We're appointing an additional Title VI, Title VII, and/or Title IX officer for the upcoming school year, and that is Jackie Levine and Mr. Mello. We're appointing a data protection officer and chief information officer, Michael Lee. We're appointing the district emergency safety coordinator and asbestos designee and chemical safety coordinator, David Spittle. We're appointing building DASA coordinators. We're appointing the attorneys for the district. We're appointing the chief medical officer. We're appointing internal claims auditor, external claims auditor, internal auditor. We're appointing the board of registration for the upcoming year. We're appointing the reviewing, verification, and hearing officials for the upcoming school year for the free and reduced price meals program, which is Alicia Hunter, and Jeremy Luft is the hearing official. We're appointing Section 504 committee chair people. We're appointing Section 504 coordinators. We're approving district teachers as tutors and homebound instructors for the upcoming school year. We're approving staff members as chaperones. We're approving CSE and CPSE chairpeople for the summer and for the upcoming school year. We're approving staff members for the PPS's 2023 summer testing if needed. We're appointing 10-month and school calendar personnel for the upcoming school year. We're approving the summer transportation employees. We're approving additional or unpaid hours for staff members. We're amending a resignation date for a teacher. We're appointing the 2023 district safety team. We're approving teacher substitutes for the ESY program. And we're appointing an ES Scholastic Literacy Instructional Specialist for the upcoming school year, and that is Kerry Burdett. And we're approving proctors for the August regents this year.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? I know it's a lot of people. Natalie, you have a lot of jobs.
I know.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. We're now approving the consent agenda, other business.
Resolved to approve consent agenda, other business items 2 through 25 as presented to the board at this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments?
We are approving the minutes from the two previous meetings. We're approving CSE, CPSE placements. We're designating the banks for the upcoming school year. We're designating petty cash funds. We're designating bid placements. We're designating PCNR and Journal News as our official newspapers. We're approving district membership in organizations including NYSBA, Westchester Putnam School Boards Association, Putnam Valley Business Network, and National School Boards Association, and among others. We're approving the superintendent's membership in organizations for the upcoming year. We're approving the Children's Internet Protection Act. We're authorizing the board president and/or vice president to appoint impartial hearing officers from the vested online list of officers as needed. We're approving the athletic placement process. We're approving the annual readoption of all policies with the note that all our policies are being reviewed as we speak, with special notation of certain financial and business office policies for purchasing and investments, as well as student policies dealing with the code of conduct, parental involvement, and student attendance. We're approving an agreement with Orrick, Harrington, and Sutcliffe for bond counsel. We're approving an agreement with the Fiscal Advisors Group. We're approving KG&D as our architects for the upcoming year. We're approving an agreement with Storage Tank Liability, Tank Safe Company. We're approving an agreement with Travelers Casualty and Surety to provide employee bonds. We're approving an agreement with NYSER, the New York Schools Insurance Reciprocal. We're approving 23-24 contracts with Putnam County Sheriff's Department for SRO and SPOs. We're approving an agreement with the Great American Insurance Company for student accidents. We're authorizing the superintendent to enter into agreements with various service providers for classified students in the PPS department, as well as other service providers for the PPS department. We're approving an agreement with Justice Community College. We're accepting a donation in the amount of $445.64, which is from the class of 2023 as a class gift. I believe it's a tree. We're accepting an amended management response and corrective action plan for the recently approved payroll and personnel internal audit that was done in the winter. And that's it.
Well done.
I know. Aren't you glad you're not born?
I would be proud.
Very impressive.
Any other comments or questions about any of the items Maureen mentioned? We do thank the class of 2023 for their donation and look forward to it being planted if it's a tree or whatever it is going to be. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolutions pass. So now we're moving on to new business. Ms. Horwitz, I think you start?
Me?
Yep.
Helen.
One? Okay.
Number 1, under new
Resolved
business.
on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to accept the resignation of monitor Tracy Manimi from the district effective June 30th of 2023 as per document 2/24, attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second?
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 2, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to accept the resignation of office assistant Christiana Giacomini from the district effective the close of business on July 7th, 2023, as per document number 3-24, attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 3, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to accept the resignation of teacher Sarah Riley from the district effective the close of business on June 30th, 2023 per document 18/24 attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 4, please.
Whereas Christina Bizzaro has been previously tenured as a teacher in a New York State Public School District or BOCES, and whereas said teacher has presented proof of receipt of a Section 3012C or 3012D Education Law APPR rating in the final year of service in their previous service in such school district or BOCES, now therefore be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools that the Board of Education hereby appoints Christina Bizzaro to a 3-year probationary term as a special education teacher commencing on September 1st, 2023 and terminating on August 31st, 2026 in the tenure area of special education at the high school on Step 6 MA of the PVFT salary schedule. Ms. Bizzaro holds students with disabilities 7 through 12, mathematics 7 through 12, and mathematics 5 through 9 professional certifications. In order to be eligible for appointment to tenure, said teacher must have at least 3 years of effective or highly effective APPR rating pursuant to Section 3012C and or Section 3012D of the Education Law during the probationary term. That may count the rating from the previous employment as referenced above and may not receive an ineffective APPR rating in the final year of probation.
Second.
Questions or comments? Crystal got the long one.
Yes.
Sorry. Tried to go as fast as I could.
It's always an iffy proposition. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 5, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to appoint Melody Ortiz to a 4-year probationary term as school counselor commencing on September 1st of 2023 and terminating on August 31st of 2027 in the tenure area of guidance at the middle school on Step 7 Masters of the PVFT salary schedule. Ms. Ortiz holds school counselor permanent certification. In order to be eligible for an appointment to tenure, said employee must receive at least 3 APPR ratings of effective or highly effective during the 4-year probationary term and may not receive an ineffective rating in the final year of probation.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 6, please.
Resolved upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools to appoint Scott Connell to the probationary appointment of custodial worker groundskeeper effective July 7th, 2023, with a probationary period of 52 weeks, July 6, 2024, at the Operations Department on Step 2 of the CSEA salary schedule.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 7, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to rescind the teaching appointment of Emily Halliday previously approved at the Board of Education meeting April 13th, 2023.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number, no, that's it.
That's it?
Yay. Okay, I'd like to open it up to the public on comments on any topic. Okay, let's talk about the upcoming meetings. Jeremy?
So our next meeting is scheduled for August 22nd, and then we'll resume our normal schedule beginning in September. So quiet summer coming up.
Yeah.
Are your fingers crossed? Your feet are crossed? Something's
least there's-
crossed under the
Yeah,
table?
it's not many board meetings. They won't be quiet otherwise.
Take off the month of August until the 22nd.
No.
Doctor.
No. And that meeting is really kind of like how we're getting ready for school?
Yeah, we anticipate there'll be some appointments. We still have some positions we're looking to fill over the summer, so we'll have some appointments during that meeting, and really it'd be a kickoff for the upcoming school year. It's not a a lot of business that's typically done over the summer, but definitely we'll have some appointments. We'll have to do some business stuff and get ready.
Okay.
Will most of the schedules be done by then, specifically the high school schedules?
Yeah,
They
so
should
typically
be
the high
done by
school
then.
schedule is done by the end of August.
Could we
then.
get a readout of the classes as you provided us last year again? for
Sure.
that? Thank
Sure.
you.
I'd also like to, at the August meeting, start talking about our goals.
Yep, good idea.
Specific, general, in terms of, it can be a big idea, but then what are we going to do specifically so that we can measure whether they've been done or not, so we can kind of check it off. So if you kind of keep that in your head, think about some of the things that we did at our retreat, some of the things in our board self-eval that we want to work on, and then specifically how can we get to that
Good,
point.
good.
So I'll bring that up at that meeting also.
Are we going to have any policies to review at that meeting?
Yes. So we actually, the policy committee met yesterday. We did the 0 series and the 1 series. So we'll have some of those policies ready to present during that upcoming board meeting.
It'll be a first reading for most of them, for all of them. I think what we're going to do, our plan is to retire the series, 0 series, and then adopt, do a first reading on the new policies.
That makes it clean.
Just clean up.
Okay. How, now that you've started, how huge, I saw the binder, so it's a little bit intimidating about how huge a job it is.
What happened is, if I can,
Sure.
Valerie, the organization that we hired to screen what we presently have updated it, and the process is fairly simplistic. You look at their updates compared to what we have, and if we approve, Maureen puts accepted, and then we move on. And if there are changes, Maureen will make the changes and note them in a sidebar. It took us just about 2 hours to do 1 and 2. I meant 0 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're moving along.
So
And we're
that's
not quite done with 1. We have to review some of
We'll
those,
be
and our
done by
attorneys.
December, right?
Our attorneys, I don't know about that, but our attorneys will review a few of those policies that we definitely have some questions about internal procedures on. A lot of them are connected with internal procedures that we just want to run by our own attorneys. And as part of our policy, our attorneys have to review them first anyway, so that will,
And
Could
the
take a little bit
organization
more
is continuing to
Yes.
update, right?
It's NISBA, right?
They've done
NISBA.
0
NISBA.
and 1.
Okay.
Have they begun 2 yet?
2 is already in there. We just have to have them start to upload 3 and 4. and
Oh, okay,
5.
good,
Yep.
good.
All right.
Yeah,
Keep
we're
on
gonna-
'em, Natalie.
We're going to power through this.
Oh, no,
I
it's
am.
Miss Doherty again. It's
Exactly.
Dr. Dorothy
It'll be
calling
painful.
We
again.
are going to get this
I
I
done
know,
before the
been
end
the
of the
bane
year,
of
I
this woman's
promise.
existence.
Right, doctor?
The, part of the problem when I look at the policy manual, or even when I looked over the ones that we were re-upping at this meeting, it's so dense, there's so much in it that we don't have, like, I personally don't have a handle on all of the policies. Like, are there things that I'm supposed to be doing that I'm not doing? Are there things that we used to do that we don't do anymore, and take them out? So that, and then make a list for whoever the president's going to be of what it is that the board is direct, because they're really responsible for all of it.
That was part of
Every time I read something else the board's supposed to be doing, it's like,
process.
It's all policy.
When we met the other day, the board
Primary
duties and
duty.
responsibilities, yeah.
Is
And
the policy, set policy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ultimately what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to provide the draft to all of the board members, have an opportunity to review that draft, so when it comes up for the first reading, we can't read every one of those policies. We'll be here for 4 hours. But it'll be an opportunity to highlight some of the changes, and then if a board member has any questions about what they read, then we can certainly address what those changes were and look at the track changes. But it would be overwhelming to look at
Right.
each of the documents and all of the track changes that were made. That's why we're sort of reading the new series. If there's any questions, we'll answer them, and then with the approval of the board, we'll replace the entire series. We'll retire the old one and accept the new one, as opposed to going page by page, word by word. right?
Dr. Lefty.
Shall became may, or may become shall, like that. All that work is in there. But ultimately, and it's a great opportunity for everyone to get their eyes on the policies and remind and refresh what's in there.
Dr.
So
Left,
that's the
if you
plan.
want, I can send an email after this meeting telling everybody how they can access those policies.
Well, I think what we're going to do is Maureen and I are going to sit and clean up based upon what our comments were.
Great.
So based upon the recommendations of the committee, we'll
And then-
create a clean document, and then we'll share that.
Great.
Because this way they won't see all the notes and all the
Notes.
other stuff
Okay.
that goes in there.
Sounds good.
We'll try to make it as user-friendly as possible.
Easy.
Otherwise, it's very overwhelming.
It's true.
It's a good process, very quick. I like that.
Did you have an, kind of like an overarching, I know I was participating in a workshop where they were talking about policy, and a district was saying they're looking at every policy now through a different lens. Did we have a specific lens, or it's just, what are we doing, what do we need to do to make sure that the district continues to move forward?
I mean, I think we look through it through a lens of all of our constituents that we've heard from over the past couple of years, and trying to just, again, policy should be broad-stroked, not so specific and so prescriptive that you can't comply with it, right? So I think that was the lens we were looking at it from, that how to, that this represents our community. These policies that we have to adhere to have to serve everybody, right? Not just the board, not just our teachers.
The
everybody.
biggest thing is that there's been so many changes since the last updates. Most of them occurred around 2009. You had COVID. Response to that is in there. All these different things, and the gender questions. So NISBA has been guiding us on that, and I thought it was a very good,
Good.
constructive couple hours. That was
Because we
fun.
appreciate you and Helen doing that work for us initially.
We were so much on par.
Yeah,
with-
really,
We're doing what we
Good.
should be doing.
just about everything. Yeah.
It's nice to know that you can confirm that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's always a good thing.
Right. I think during that time, right, new laws have come on the books, legal precedences have changed,
Right.
Past practices have changed, and we just have to make sure that all of our policies are up to date around all of those things. So we don't want a policy that references a past practice we no longer follow, that we would inherently be violating our own policy. So just to take the time and have a set of eyes on it, it was really beneficial.
It's you.
I noticed. I mean,
There are going to be some
was going to it,
policies
though.
that are more dense than others. I know it's loud.
It's Sam, he's tapping on the table.
Exactly. There are definitely some policies that will be much more cumbersome and just to sort of weed out and tease out some things. But a lot of our policy was already set, so there's a lot that doesn't change, right? There are some additions, but a lot of our policies are set. It really is just updating them, making sure we're complying, and then putting them forward again.
and it's getting done. That's the most important thing.
Okay, we could put that as a goal and then check it off.
That's right.
I
That's
like
good.
that.
I like that.
I like to have goals I can check off. Okay, any other comments from board members? Okay, I'd like a resolution to convene an executive session for one matter of the employment history of one particular person.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, there will be no business conducted after the meeting. Thank you.
All right. Very good.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
What am I gonna
Thank
do
you,
without
guys.
Joe?
Still running the show.
Guy, you have to keep
Dr.
coming.
Cohen.
That's right.